Hey, Katie.
Hey, T.
How are you doing?
Oh, it's just a Tuesday.
So, I just went with Katie to pick up Leah from her mom's, and we were hit with the truth that her mom and my mother-in-law are active podcast listeners. So now I'm like, and now I can't say certain things. And also, sorry, Deb, for the things that I have said in the past that have been inappropriate.
Let's just give a big ol' apology to the Debs. They're both Debs. So
I'm like, I've said, like the one time I was like, oh, put it in both my holes. And now I know that my mother-in-law heard that. And it was a big joke.
Let's hope they are maybe not paying attention to that.
Well, now they're going to be because I said both their names twice.
I mean, my mom's story at the beginning, so by the time she gets here, we'll be 85. So
That's true. That's true.
Maybe. I don't know. She, from the lips of your mother-in-law to the ears of my mom, we are a hoot.
Yeah,
and to give us a listen.
I knew that they had listened in the past a few times. I didn't realize that it was like a active listener. My own mother doesn't listen. She's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so I'm not gonna listen. And I respect that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Our husband's only. I was like, nobody who actually knows this in real life is listening to this.
Definitely not.
And when people say, like, people that I do know, I'm like, oh, you have a podcast? Should I listen? Like, one of my friends from work, I was like, don't. I was like, it's, first of all, the books, because he likes to read too. And
he probably doesn't read these books.
No. And he's like, I'll try out one of your favorite books. And I'm like, that's so nice, but like, don't.
What a nice person.
His sister follows us, I believe.
Okay, so she'll listen and read.
Maybe. Well, no, so she does. So he's like, yeah, my sister takes a lot of your recommendations. She's been reading some of the hockey romances. And I was like, I love that. And he was like, I think I might read one. And I was like, don't.
Speaking of taking recommendations, I had a divine moment that happened to me a few weeks ago. I was on call with my boss. And she was like, I got to complain because I know you're a reader. And I'm like, okay, what's up? She's like, I got to complain about Kindle Unlimited. And I'm like, what's wrong with Kindle Unlimited?
Yeah.
And she was like, there's just not a lot out there on Kindle Unlimited to read. And I was like, let me just shut my mouth and like let her spew. Not, we'll get back to this. So she was going on. She's like, I think I'm just going to cancel it. Like, I really don't understand why I pay for this. Like, these books on here just really aren't that good. I'm like, well, I think it's what you're reading. And she was like, I don't know. I was like, can I give you some recommendations? And she was like, actually, I would love that because I paid for, I don't know what she did, but she somehow paid to have it at least through like January 1. Like, I don't know what she did up front. Like, I pay monthly. Maybe she was like, I don't know, maybe she still does pay monthly, but was like contemplating not paying for December. I don't know. So I was like, here, I'm going to give you some recommendations. I have to go find, oh wait, I sent it to you and Mary. I was like, here are some recommendations. The poor thing, she was like talking to me about stuff. And I'm like, I'm not listening because I am now in the throes of finding all these recs that you need on, KU. So I gave her Indigo Ridge by Debney Perry, Funny Feelings, Tara DeWitt, Rootbound, Tara DeWitt,
Great,
Flawless, Elsie Silver,
amazing,
Mile High, Liz Tomford,
amazing,
Out on a Limb, Hannah Bonin Young,
amazing,
Love Light Farms, BK Borison,
amazing.
And she has mentioned in past conversations, well, first off, I also confirmed that she is okay with spice and smut.
Okay.
I have confirmed that. But then I also was like, what else are you into? You into like murder, mystery? She's like, yeah, like, murder, I'm cool with that. So I'm like, well, then we're going to introduce you to the Mindfuck series. So in that order, that's exactly how I read it. So we hop on a call today and she was like, so it was up to 3 a.m. last night. And I'm like getting giddy. I'm like, why? She's like, because I started Indigo Ridge and I, of course, could not finish. I couldn't like go to sleep. She's like, I needed to stay up to read it. So she absolutely loved it and is already 100 pages into Juniper Hill. I'm like, God bless. I'm so excited. This is music to my ears.
Perfect time because Sable Peak.
Well, that's what I told her. I was like,
today.
honestly, I'm so glad you're saying this. I was like, because Sable Peak comes out, KU doesn't come out till the 7th. So I was like, this is amazing. Like, you need to reach, like, this is phenomenal. She's like, so I'm going to work my way through this series. I was like, as you should.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like a staple.
No, like, we talk about the Edens all the time on here. Such a staple. We need to do a reread of that. I do want to do a Mindfuck reread, but like I want to like break it up like by novella, which honestly like we should think about doing that. And if you guys are interested in us doing that, let us know. But I was thinking like we just do like one novella a week and then we just like talk about it like for like a little bit like in the beginning of each episode.
That's a good idea because they're so short. So
they're so short and like you fly through them. I think I read all 6 of them or 5 of them.
I definitely read like 2 in a day once.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was very. I mean, like I even told her I was like, if you don't like them, it is what it is. Like you're not going to hurt my feelings.
It's like so funny that you just said that because I was talking today to I'm sorry, I'm just gonna get like
I don't care.
I'm just like looking at like what her Instagram. I'm so bad at like the actual tag. But Britt B's book reads.
Oh, she's such a cutie.
No, I love her. We talk about her all the time. I talk to her like a lot, but she was asking for hockey recs today, and I gave her
novels,
and I was like, these are the ones that I would start with because she was like, she doesn't care too much about the spice of what she was saying, but I was like, listen, if you don't like any of them, tell me, like. And like, I won't take it personally. Like, I kind of am just like interested. And she was like, thank you. Because some people take it so personally. And I have said on this podcast a million times, like, if you don't like it, you're stupid. But
she doesn't really mean that.
No, I don't really mean that. I really don't care.
But it's also like, sometimes I like to hear what other people's thoughts and opinions are. Like sometimes, and we ended up having like a mini discussion about Indigo Ridge. Like overall, she really enjoyed it. But it's still like nice to hear, like, she's not on Book Talk. She's like an older millennial. But she like, so she's, I don't know, she really liked it. So I was like, and I quote, "It's a win." Get it? But I'm changing anyway. So I just find those are just like good staple ones to recommend.
I have to mark that as unread, or I'll forget to answer that later. Anyway, today we're here.
We are here not to talk about the Mindfuck series or the Edens. We are here to talk about Wreck the Halls.
Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, and we have. I think have we only ever done one Tessa Bailey book on here? We've talked about Tessa Bailey a bunch, but I feel like we only did one. And we've said before, like, we love Tessa Bailey.
2. Secretly Yours and Unfortunately Yours.
We never did Unfortunately Yours. I haven't read it.
Just kidding.
So, basically, we've said we love her, but some of her stuff is hit or miss. And this is a hit.
I would say, I'm going to rebuttal that. I don't find hers to ever really be a miss. I find it more to be like a 3-5.
Like something that I never have to think about again.
Yeah, like there's a couple books of hers and I'm like, that was good for when I was in it. I won't like actually recommend it, but it was good. Like there's a couple other authors out there where I feel like they are true hit or misses for me.
Mm-hmm.
But Tessa Bailey to me is more of like, it's always a hit. It's just a matter of like, on what level of a hit are we at?
Right. Okay.
And I will say in this instance, this is definitely a top 4 book of mine.
I feel like I can concur with that. I would say top 4, top 5 of like what I've read of hers.
Yeah, like I would put like It Happened One Summer, Hook, Line, and Sinker. I really loved My Killer Vacation.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. Fix Her Up.
This might come before that. I'm not gonna lie. Like Wreck the Halls, Fix Her Up.
Yeah.
And I will say, Unfortunately Yours might be like.
I haven't read that one yet.
It's really good. I really enjoyed that one. But I will say I think about like in terms of thinking about it, like. I can recall Fix Her Up way more than I can Unfortunately Yours, and I read Unfortunately Yours not too long ago.
Yeah.
So like this is like top.
And
this
like
is in the top 5.
The thing that I love about Tessa Bailey is they're ridiculous. Like her books are ridiculous. Yeah. And like they're supposed to be funny. Like
this is not a contemporary.
No, like people like the characters' names are beat and melody.
You can't have a beat without a melody.
And it's meant funny.
To be funny.
It's not a serious book. Like when people are like, oh, like IDNF, like can you believe she named the character? Like that's part of the joke. That's the joke. It's part
of her charm.
But
it's her funny.
But yes, but that's the joke. It's a joke. Like it's not. You're not supposed to take their name seriously.
It's
Anyway,
if you are looking for just true, lighthearted, fluffy, think of cotton candy sky on a beautiful sunny day. Like, if you want, like, just light and hot, airy, this is your girl.
And spicy.
And
dirty.
Great fucking dirty smutty, disgust. Like, yes. You want all that and not have to think too hard?
Yeah.
Tessa Bailey is your girl.
Tessa Bailey's your girl.
She's also fucking hysterical on TikTok and Instagram.
And one of the nicest humans.
One
of
the nicest human beings.
What you see on Instagram, that's how she is in real life.
She's very
Which is amazing. We actually we just did a giveaway of a Wreck the Halls book because we're like, oh, we're going to be reading it in December. We'll do it for one of our giveaways. Mm-hmm. And the winner's from Macedonia.
North Macedonia.
So like not Greece, but like that area of the world.
Cool. Photos are beautiful. Like, can I package myself up with this and send it to her?
People like who's following us?
Not many.
I was like, on Instagram, not many, which is why we were like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
When I was like, can I have your address? I was like, Macedonia. Like, oh
I know.
God.
And we'll repeat it at the end, but for anybody who is following us on Instagram or is not following us on Instagram and just listens to the podcast or follows us on TikTok, whatever, we're doing 12 days of giveaways throughout the month of December. I think
it's
every other day. So today we posted, when you're listening to this, it'll be Wednesday. We'll be contacting a winner. So tomorrow, Thursday, will be day 4 of giveaways.
Yes.
So just like keep looking. People are winning, obviously.
I'm gonna post that.
No. Katie's being mean.
Kidding.
But we did one, and I thought it was just cool that like there was like somebody from
it was so freaking. I like had to read that again. I was like, I'm reading this right? Like I'm not like just making this up in my mind. This is where I want this book to go.
But shipping is super expensive. So if you don't live in the continental U.S. now, we're closing it. It's just continental U.S.
So sorry.
It's the holidays, and we're not made of money, you guys.
Well, if it was one, get 1 or 2, I'd say screw it.
I know, but
because
12.
it's 12, I'm like, I don't,
But there's a lot of good ones coming up.
And just to put it in perspective, every other giveaway is a book. So
yes. And I mean, books that we love. One book we haven't read yet, but I will just spoil it. It's In Holidays by Christina Lauren, because we are going to be reading that as our second Christmas book of the month. So we figured we would do a giveaway for that as well. You already missed what today's is, and it was 2 Serpent and the Wings of Night books, which sucks for you guys if you're listening now. Like, oh, I want to win it. Too bad. It's closed. But we had to do a giveaway because we should talk about the event a little bit before we get into the Wreck the Halls,
I guess
right?
we could. Or there's not like too much to dissect with this.
Okay, so anyway, you guys, Saturday, set the scene. Katie and I
picture it, Sicily, 19.
Picture it, Brooklyn, 2023.
Cold December day on a Saturday. It was actually quite mild.
It was definitely December. I was like, no, it was November. It was December.
December 2nd.
It was a nice, mild December evening. Brooklyn, New York, Park Slope.
Got a parallel parking spot right across the street from
the street. We're wearing our best. Well, I'm wearing Katie's loafers.
She did.
Katie's wearing a little booty.
I was wearing my jeans. My nice little jeans.
I was wearing a skirt. It was from Zara. I know you guys want to know. I was wearing a skirt, and it was from Zara, and it was amazing. And then I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I wore it the next day. To a baby shower.
That outfit that I wore for my family photos.
Yeah, but I wore the skirt 2 days in a row.
I don't give a shit. We re-wear outfits on this podcast. Girl, we don't have that kind of money.
I'm just saying, I didn't wash it.
Different people. When different people see you, it's
meant that I got home, I went to bed, I put on the exact same skirt the next day. I didn't wash it.
We went there at night. You wore that skirt for 3 hours? 4?
It's black, even if it was dirty.
Fuck it.
Anyway, everyone loved it. The score and our and the event.
We got to interview Carissa Broadbent.
Yes, and
at the Ripped Bodice. It was our first ever event.
It was our first ever live.
It was
event.
It was everyone's first event.
It was Carissa's first event. Our first event.
It was for the Serpent and Wings of Night because it was picked up and then re-released with tour. And today is the release day.
Yeah.
And it's not today for you people. It's December 5th. I'm sorry. So we're recording today, December 5th. That's when it has come out and been released. And it is freaking beautiful.
And we've done episodes on it. And we did an episode on her other series, Daughter of No Worlds, which at this point, I'm assuming if this release goes well, that they're going to pick up Daughter of No Worlds. I'm sorry. I'm so strongly in the belief that Daughter of No Worlds is better. But I know Serpents is more popular, but like there's no reason why they wouldn't.
I agree. I didn't read the last book yet, still on my to-do, but like the first 2 books were absolutely phenomenal. Actually, and we've said this before too, like probably 2 of our favorite characters as well. I love Tisana, and who doesn't love Max?
Well, and also like Max is like a top tier book boyfriend in my opinion, like just the man of my dreams, to be honest. And we asked Chris, like, who's your favorite character? Well, somebody asked her. I didn't ask her. When we opened it up to the floor, someone was like, who's your favorite character? And she was like, Max. And I was like, yes, I feel so like vindicated. And like him being vindicated. That's word confessional time. But no, it was a great event. She was great.
She was so sweet.
Everybody, like her whole team of like PR people and editors, everybody that we met from the publisher was amazing. The Ripped Bodice in Park Slope
never go wrong.
Is an amazing bookstore in general. We've been there a few times now. We've been there just to shop. We've been there for different events. But Catherine at the Ripped Bodice, she's like so kind, literally the nicest person in the entire world.
It's been nice running into her a few times. It's like it's always
fun
to
we
see
met her originally at the Bridget Kemmerer to buy the night event, and then
we went to the
JLA event at Rifada's, and we were like, oh my God, hi. And then I feel like I saw her like one other, I might have just been like shopping there.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, so now I feel like we're all just best friends in my head. Okay, sorry. Back to the halls. So Melody is the daughter of Melody and Beat are both the children of musical royalty. And something happened that tore their mothers apart. So they were in this like crazy sick rock band in like the 90s, and it was like feminism and rock and roll. And then they just like broke up. And
no one knows why.
Not even the kids. Yeah. And so they have not seen each other, the mothers, since the breakup in like 92 or 93. And Melody and Beat were born a few months apart from each other, but it was after the breakup. So they never met until they turned
like 13.
I think it was like 14 or
something
15.
Like that.
And Beat walks in, and it's like a behind the music they're about to get interviewed for. Melody's like an awkward like teenager. She's got braces, whatever. Beat walks in, he's like that like
suave,
perfect like teenage heartthrob, but they have like an immediate connection. And then they don't talk again until they're 30. And basically Beat is being blackmailed and he needs the money. So obviously he has money, but he like works for like his mother's foundation and everything. He's like, I'm not going to steal money, whatever. He's been being blackmailed for like 5 years, and it's by his biological father. And
we don't know who it is.
Yeah, we don't know who the biological father is. We just know that he's blackmailing him. Otherwise, the man that he considers his father and like the whole world will know that his mom like had this affair or whatever. So he's trying to protect his parents, and
he's basically like, kind of blown through like some of his trust and savings. So,
like now he's blown through a lot of his money.
Now
he needs
some money.
He needs some more money. So, you know, because of social media and everything, apparently their songs are trending again. So they are approached by a producer, like, let's do a reality show and let's try to get your mothers back.
Let's get
the band back together.
Yeah.
For a Christmas Eve, like special, like one-time only performance. And they're offering $1 million to like each Beat and Melody. So Beat sees this and he's like, I'll do it, but only if Melody agrees, or only if she doesn't agree to do it, only if she's like
okay
with it happening and like won't be bothered, basically. And so they meet up again, and sparks just
start flying.
It's like an immediate connection.
Yes, I like that it's an immediate. Okay, so there's a difference between connection, but not insta love and like just insta connection, or like insta like heartthrob. Like you can look at someone and be like, "Damn, you're hot." It doesn't mean you're all of a sudden like insta lovey. I really like their connection, and I will say, out of a lot of male characters written, I really liked Beat. I think he was so aware of Melody and her feelings.
Yes.
He wanted to ensure there was like no miscommunication here. I said that loosely just because like he's not kind of telling like the full truth.
I was gonna say there's like miscommunication definitely at
the end
because he's keeping secrets to protect her, but it's like that it's cleared up.
Yeah,
it's not like quickly. Miscommunication where I'm like wanting to like punch them both in the head.
Yeah, like, and he even kind of tells her in the beginning, like, I need the money, and she's like, well, why? And he's like, I'm not telling you. Like, so he kind of like sets the like the foundation for it, but like he's so even like when they first meet with the producer, him and Melody sit down. The producer finally gets in touch with Melody. So Melody's like, I'm not doing this. See you later. Bye. But then when the producer's like, hey, Beat's gonna be there, she's like, consider me intrigued. But like from the get-go, he sets this whole precedence of like, we need to ensure Melody's on board. I need to make sure she's okay with no matter what, every step of the way. Like, and because she was kind of made fun of when she was younger, because she was like she was a typical teenager. I don't even want to call her dorky or whatever. Like,
we've gone through that
awkward phase. Like, he wasn't really in one, and she kind of got made fun of and poked fun for, and like he kind of came to her rescue because like he basically kind of asked her from beforehand, like behind the scenes, like, hey, are you okay with like what's happening? She kind of tried to blow it off, but I think he read between the lines of like it's bothering her.
Yeah.
So he went on an interview and like said something to be like very kind, like he thinks highly of her, whatever. And then like things started to change for her. So I think he wanted to, no matter what, always ensure that she was perceived well, wasn't like targeted, didn't be made fun of. Like he was always thinking about this girl who like he considered a friend without even like really having a true friendship.
Yeah.
It's like how we like connect with people on Instagram. I'm like, they're our friends. And like we maybe talked to them 3 times, but like we're friends.
Yeah. And yeah, like he he sees her like so fully for who she is, and like they have. You ever just like meet somebody and you're like, oh my God, this is my best friend? Like within like a week, they're like, we're best friends.
Stepbrothers. Do we just become best friends?
Yep. And then like honestly, because it's a Christmas holiday rom-com. Like you don't want it to be this like super like dark, broody, enemies to lovers. Like I'm looking for Hallmark level vibes. Yes. And like it delivered on all of that. And
it's a great way to put it.
Right. So if there are darker Christmas romances, I'm sure, out there. When I'm reading a Christmas book, I want it to feel like a warm sweater or like a big comfy blanket. I want it to feel like Hallmark movie level vibes.
Yeah.
And that's like exactly what was delivered.
It's Hallmark movie vibes, but with really good banter between the two of them.
Yes.
So essentially they're on live stream the entire time.
Yes, that's the whole premise of the reality show, is that they're followed like 12 hours a day on live stream on like Instagram.
And like people start falling more for the two of them and like hoping they get together, but like Melody becomes this like overnight sensation. Yeah. And she's never really been in a spotlight.
No.
So it like takes her by so surprised. But again, like he's so like, is she safe? Is she protected? Do we have like security for her? You're staying with me because your townhouse is like the first floor or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and he has security. So like it kind of becomes more like some forced proximity as well. But like everyone has like names for her. Like they're like so like they're fans of Melody, which is so
they're
fucking
such
cute.
Fans of Melody. And at first she's embarrassed because it's very obvious that she has a crush on him.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very obvious that they have crushes on each other, and that everybody is like shipping the two of them and like trying to get them together. And people were falling in love with her, and then he's getting jealous because like he's like, no, but she's my Melody. He like refers to her as like my Melody a bunch. I just want to say something really quick because I want to keep talking about them, but I want to just highlight this one quote. So her job is she like restores old books,
so fucking
which is really cool. But she says, I lived inside those books growing up, and I want to take care of them the way that they took care of me. And it just like, as a reader,
it hits.
It hits.
Yeah, like he's so sweet. Like he's very good with his words. Like, I want to kiss you more than I've ever wanted anything in my fucking life. Like,
yeah.
Well, I won't get into like the super.
Katie's not going to say this racy ones. Actually, knows her aunt and her mom are listening, but I will. But before I get into the racy ones, I also wanted to highlight this because I'm surprised that Katie has. She may have, but she didn't say it. When Trina and I were pregnant with you two, Stevie Nicks blessed our bellies backstage at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
I almost hit the floor when I saw that.
I know. And Stevie, she recited an old proverb and waved a bundle of burning sage. So, like, they were blessed by Stevie.
Also, this gave me... Okay, because a lot of Stevie Nicks's and, like, Fleetwood Mac's songs became popular again recently. So I was like, I'm picking up on vibes of, like, why. And then when she threw in the Stevie Nicks thing, I was like, I think this is based very loosely on the fact that like Fleetwood Mac and Stevie became super popular again on TikTok. Like not that they've ever lost like their fame and like
but I
whatever,
feel like
but like their like some of the songs
like a younger
that, like,
generation,
like even like Dreams, like that became so popular. I was like, that's been popular. Like
the
Gen Z said, it's just like they're finally catching up to like
Silver Springs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like that's
like
so
we've known
popular,
about that.
But I feel like it's just for like the younger generation who's like maybe like our parents were obviously Fleetwood Mac fans. So, like, we listened to it growing up, but, like, the younger generation maybe don't. I don't know. So, B has a little bit of, I want to say he has, like, trust issues.
Yes.
And he feels like everybody in his life only cares about him because of who his mother is.
Yeah.
And he learned that the hard way, like, growing up. So, he's just never been able to be completely himself with anybody. So, he has this thing where he only sleeps with people, he goes to like sex clubs and stuff, and like enters like arrangements because he likes the act of like sex and like especially getting a woman off, but he will not come with another person. And honestly, like, so at first I couldn't figure out what his thing was because he was like being cagey about it. And then when they're eating the beignets, when they're discussing if they're going to do the show or not, she grabs his wrist and like digs her nails in, and he liked it. So I was like, oh, maybe he like he's like a submissive and he like needs a dom, because I can see like people would think that she wouldn't be, and I was like, ooh, but I was like very intrigued by this like whole aspect of him. And then when they finally do get together and he's like able to come with her, it's just like so
sorry,
nice.
Mom.
It's so nice. But yeah, he's like, she's like, he says like, do you want me to stop? Like they're kind of like fooling around or whatever. I think this might be the attic scene.
The infamous attic scene.
The attic scene.
Everyone wants to know what happened in the attic.
But he says that he likes things a little bit fucked up because he's like, I want to see you get fucked up by me. I like things a little bit fucked up.
And like, I feel bad because like she kind of knows what this deal is going in, but then like very much realizes like after the fact that like she kind of took it more as like a like she was offended by it, like you know what I mean, like
I feel like she understood him, but was like, it won't be enough for me unless I can have all of you.
Yeah,
like I can't be in a relationship with you if I'm only getting like 80%. I want 100% of you, and if you can't give me 100%, then I can't give you 100% of me. And then like, what are we doing? We can always just still be friends, but like when they're not together, they're both they're
pining,
miserable,
and
they're on live streams.
Yeah,
so like she's trying to like, you know, keep busy, and he's locking himself in the bathroom watching the live stream of her, calling Danielle, the producer, is she safe, like every 5 minutes. Then the live stream goes down, he's like in a panic, having a panic attack, and it's just like, just come.
Literally. I also love meeting the mom separately. Like, I would say Beat's mom appeals to me a bit more than Melody's. She's hysterical. Trina's crazy. But like Octavia, thank you. I was like, Ophelia? No, that's what I'm reading right now. So Octavia, she's a hoot. Like, I love how both moms like out loud bash the other.
Yes.
But she's like, I'm gonna start a Melody fan club. Like, I've been watching, like, I absolutely love this girl. And like Melody does kind of blindside her because the whole premise is like there's no way the moms agree to do the show.
Yes.
And Melody's like, yeah, my mom's already said yes. And she's like, that's shocking, but like, okay, if Trina shows up, then I'll show up. So now they have to go to Trina, who's like basically in like her own camp in the middle of the woods, like kind of has like neglected Melody growing up, like obviously has given her money and like a great place to live. Like there is a connection, but like she almost feels as like Trina's like more of like a acquaintance than like a mom. And all she just wants like sometimes you just want your mom. Yeah. So finally, like in the end, Trina does kind of show up on her doorstep and she's like, I do want to see you more than just like once a year. Yeah. Like, I didn't mean to hurt you. Same. Like she's like, I never meant to like hurt you. She's like, I almost, if anything, she was trying, like she thought in her mind that she was like kind of protecting her, but like in reality, like Melody didn't take it that way. She took it as like she was being pushed away by her mom, and like again only saw her for like holidays. Like even when they first leave like the compound, she's like, you won't be seeing me in February, and the mom's like, that's fine, like whatever. Like
and like Melody, I think, you know, I feel like she felt like she could never like live up to her mother because she was a little
or anyone's expectation. Like I couldn't imagine being someone famous's child because I feel like there's this perceived notion that you too should then surmount to these like astronomical heights. Like maybe they just want to be an accountant.
Yeah, maybe they just want to be a teacher. Old books.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Melody takes guitar lessons.
Yeah,
and then she gets she starts taking them like 10 years prior, but she's like too like nervous to show her mom because she's like, my mom is like, that's like Octavia was the lead singer. Trina is like the guitar, like rock star, like the lyricist and like whatever. And she's like, nothing I do is ever going to compare to what she has done. So like, it's almost embarrassing for me to like show her this. Yeah. And then at the compound, she busts it out and they sing one of the songs, like her and Beat do, like kind of as like a fuck you to Trina. And her mom is like so proud of her.
Yeah. She's like, wow, like you're calling me the lyricist. Like you have a way with words too. Yeah. And you can play the guitar. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. I loved it. How could a single negative thing exist on this earth at the same time as his mouth? It was the perfect combination of reverent and aggressive, his adventurous tongue banishing any possibility of stopping or thinking or breathing. But like, how can a single negative thing exist on this earth at the same time as his mouth? I love that.
So one thing that kind of like helps you understand Trina, which I kind of like, I don't know, it just like hits for a little bit. Like maybe I'm the villain of her story, meaning Octavia's, but I'm the hero of my own. I'm going to keep on being that for myself if it's all right with the world. And like, I think that like, that's one good thing that she has said.
That's a naked baby.
Pissed, she's out of the tub. Is like, you might be the villain of someone's story. But like, you have to be the hero of your own story. Yeah. And you need to keep doing you at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, like that's kind of like all right. Like it's what you need to do for yourself. And like, it is what it is. But like, and who cares what the world thinks?
Right. Like I don't agree with like Trina's parenting tactics, but she says too about like Octavia, she was like, I'm done being everybody's bad girl. If I want to be bad now, it's on my own terms. The crowd sang along with me for years, worshiping me with their very souls. We abandoned ourselves to the universe together. And then they turned on me. They reached in and made mulch of my guts, and she let them mob me, my best goddamn friend.
Yeah.
So like I understand. And then you find out that the reason why they're beefing is over their ex-drummer, who happens to be Beat's biological father, who's blackmailing him. So a complete piece of shit. So he was.
The girls both have like been with him.
So I think he was like dating Octavia or like fucking him, but like also playing Trina. Like I think that like neither of them knew about it at first, and then when they did find out about it,
they both were kind of like, fine, we'll both back off. That's the vibe I got.
Well, no, because then I feel like then Octavia was like, no, then they were kind of like, that's like when like that was the rift.
Yeah.
And then Octavia was like, I'm going to like get with him one more time just to prove that I can have something that Trina doesn't or wants or whatever. And then that's when she gets pregnant. Which like that, the only, like, I mean, again, I didn't want some like big like family like drama thing going on, but the whole book is like, oh, like we can't let Rudy's his like his real father, the man who raised him, Octavia's husband. We can't like let Rudy know. It's gonna kill him. It's gonna destroy him. And then Rudy, like, it comes out. Octavia's like, fuck. Did you do the DNA test? They're like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, I guess he is your dad. And then Rudy's just kind of like really chill about like the whole thing. Like, I feel like nothing really came of it. And it was just like, it was, the whole plot of the book was basically like, oh my God, the blackmail. And then it comes out and it's like, no big deal.
I will say, I kind of thought that like,
I mean, I liked it because I didn't want to like dwell on it, but I was like, I wanted like more from
I almost wished, because like Rudy was so like nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
I almost wish when like Beat finally told them that they were both like, yeah, we knew.
Yeah, same. That's what I thought.
That's what I kind of thought was going to happen. And then it was going to be, because I feel like that would make more sense for like it is what it is, dude. Yeah, like, I mean, it's a rom-com, so yeah, you're not going to dive in. Plus, you don't get like full, well-rounded like other character development for like the moms per se and Rudy. Like, you don't really meet the dad ever. You just kind of like know he's there. You get like a couple of instances, but not much. But yeah, like I feel like that's kind of like a big deal. And I even think like their first interaction after was like a little, which I guess it could be a little awkward, but like, I don't know, like I'm glad we didn't like harp on it, but at the same time too, like I would understand if we like had a couple more pages about this.
Yeah.
But I almost then wished, for the way it was written, that it was like, oh yeah, no, we knew. Like, I wish you told this to us because we would have saved
like,
all that money.
We knew, we weren't telling you because we didn't want to upset you, but like, we knew, like your dad's known the whole time. So that like, so they go on the Today Show and they're like kind of like promote, like, you know, talking about like what they've been going through, whatever. And then all of a sudden Hoda's like, oh, we have like a special guest, and it's the drummer, aka the blackmailer, aka Beat's dad.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, his dad is like threatening basically to like start blackmailing Melody, being like, oh, well, you guys are in love, so I know that I can get money from her now because she'll protect you. So Beat like kind of just acts like a dick.
Yeah.
And this is like where the miscommunication comes in, where at this point she knew he was being blackmailed.
Yes.
By his father.
Yes.
But she didn't know who the father was.
Correct.
And instead of being like taking her away and telling her, he is like, oh, I need some space. Like, he kind of like, after they like finally sleep together and he like, they come together and it's like this whole thing and they're like, okay, like we're together. He kind of starts blowing her off.
Yeah.
He's like, now I need space because like a certain other point, she was like, I need space, whatever. And then she finds out like what happened. And she's like, I'm not mad at you. Like, I understand, but like, you don't trust me.
Yeah. Like, if you trust me, you would have told me.
And like, because of that, like, I can't. She's like, we're like, again, like she said, we're either all in or we're all out, which again, totally acceptable and understandable thing. If you're in a relationship, that's how it should be.
Yep.
And he's like doing everything to try to win her back. And she even says too, like, I actually just need space, but like, they know they're gonna get back together, but he's still like sick over it.
Yes.
And then at the end, she's just basically like, I don't care. I just want to be with him.
I love how she uses like the crowd to be like, where did he go? They like help her find like, honestly, where's a Beat sighting? So
their mothers agree, and the concert's going off,
and they invite the drummer,
and then they call him out on stage and like whatever, and then they bring like their other drummer out. It's like a whole thing. It's like great, whatever. But Beat leaves, and Melody is like they've never seen their mothers perform.
Yeah, I know.
And like, so that drove me crazy that they couldn't have had the reunion at the concert.
I know.
I'm like, they left. They were just like in Central Park.
Yeah.
Having a reunion. And I was like, no, you're missing history.
Yes, literally.
You worked for this. You want to see your mother's like
perform again.
I mean, I think that Octavia and Trina like healed their friendship and like maybe they would perform again. But I was like, no, why did they have to leave? But yeah, it was cute because the live stream ended because the concert was going on. But people like were following him and like knew where he was. And they're like, oh, like this user is saying that he's here. Like, so like they're like running like through like the city trying to find him, and then she finds him and they like make out a bunch.
You wanna pop in really quickly? You wanna say hello to the crowd?
She said, are you gonna say anything? Now you're gonna be quiet? Only scream in the other room?
Wanna sit here and hang out with Auntie Titi and Mommy?
Always. But now I can't say any dirty things because my niece is here.
She's like, I can't understand you.
I will worship you to my mommy's every day. I will wreck you every chance I get. I want to live between these legs. You're so beautiful, Peach.
I don't want to listen to that one.
Hi,
girlie. Correct. Come on it, baby. Feed me.
Aaliyah wants to hear more.
She's like, yeah, what happened after? He said, come on it, baby. Feed me. You know what's so funny? I can like picture Tessa like writing that and being like, yeah,
I did something good. I love the way you're fucked up over me. It's just so I really, again, this was just like one of those reads that like I could see it perfectly in my mind. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I actually woke up in the middle of the night one night because shocker, I had anxiety. And because I couldn't fall back asleep, I was like, you know what? I've been up for 30 minutes. Why am I going to peruse my phone? Let me whip this book out. So like under covers with my book light, I was like reading and I finished this whole book at 4 a.m.
Yeah, no, it was so cute. Honestly, like the perfect Christmas. I also really liked her other Christmas book, Window Shopping.
Yes, that was a really good one as well.
Reverse Grumpy Sunshine.
Yeah.
Her books are supposed to be fun and funny.
Yeah.
Everything is like kind of a joke. If you can't take it that way, don't read her books. That's all I have to say. Because I feel like I've seen things be like, can you believe the main characters' names? Like again, it's the joke.
Yeah.
It's all also, part of the bit.
Rockstar names. Like
yeah, okay, like Apple, fucking what's her face?
Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter.
Yeah, Apple
and Moses.
Yeah, but like okay, whatever. But like
whatever about Moses, but like
you know, like one day she's gonna marry maybe another rock star's kid, and it'd be like Apple and like
there's Northwest out there, people. There's nothing wrong with a beat and a melody.
Every beat has a melody.
Exactly. Which I liked that line.
I know.
I wonder if she made that line first and was like, these are the names.
I'm willing to bet.
Right?
But yeah, it was so cute.
Highly recommend. I gave it I think I gave it like 4 stars.
I think I gave it 4 stars too. But yeah, if you're looking for a good holiday read, then I definitely would recommend Window Shopping as well if you like Tessa Bailey and you're looking for other holiday reads. Next week we'll just be doing a regular Spilling the Tea. The following week is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, and then it's our yearly roundup.
Which I will be prepared for this year.
Were you not prepared last year?
You
weren't. I was. Yeah. You're right. Like as always.
Yep.
As always.
I was like, oh yeah, I write some shit down. Whoops.
Yeah. As we've said earlier, check our Instagram for the giveaways. I think it's like every odd numbered day is a giveaway.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. It just came to me. So the last Eden's book came out. We're going to circle back to the Edens.
It did. It came out today. So the paperback went live today. Yes. The Kindle version goes live Thursday. Yes. So if you're a Kindle reader,
I'm a Kindle reader. I'm waiting to the 7th.
Mine delivered, and now I'm hanging out with Katie. And I'm not reading it.
Damn. You'll go home and read in 2 seconds. Now, hear me out.
Okay.
Because I feel like this would be a great book to discuss because a lot of the book world's obsessed. Yes. However, what if we...
Instead of Spilling the Tea next week, we do Spilling the Tea / Stable Peak?
Well, we could do that. We could do that instead. Or we can discuss it in January, like the first episode. But like maybe do some rereads? Or is that too little time?
I'm not getting any rereads done this month.
Okay, fine.
I'm sorry. I have to do Kingdom of Ash.
Oh yeah, you have that.
I have like 2 other arcs that I have to read. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. We could talk about Stable Peak.
We can talk about it. Yeah, we could do that.
We'll do what we've done in the past, like with the Graham Effect, where we were like, actually, no, the Graham Effect I think was
whatever.
We'll spill the tea, and then we'll say now moving on to Sable Peak, and then you can bounce off if you haven't read it.
I like that. Let's do that instead.
Okay, yeah, because there's no shot I'm getting. We keep saying we want to do a full Devaney Perry Eden's reread because we want to be able to rank them because our opinions on some of the books vary vastly from other people. So I'd want to do that.
But we started reading them so long ago that like I'm kind of like, where was that ranked up against?
Yeah, like I think like June 2022.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Indigo Ridge. Maybe actually before then.
It might have been.
But yeah, I want to do that eventually. But yeah, so Spilling the Tea, Sable Peak, and then in the holidays, and then yearly roundup. And every odd day, new around like I don't know, sometime in the morning we post it. Yeah. New giveaways.
Before like 11. It's always posted.
Keep your eye out for that. And on that note, Katie Jean.
Bye.